Do you have your rubber band? Hopefully you have your rubber band. And we're closing with this. A simple tool to lift morale and inspire your team is what you do with a rubber band. A rubber band is only useful when, I see you guys got your rubber bands. When I don't have a rubber band, I told you, I'm here in Naples. I'm supposed to be at home, but the weather was bad and my husband told me to stay here. So the rubber band is only good when it's what? When it's stretched, when it's used to put things together, right? When you stretch it, it's when it's useful. Just like this, the rubber band, it has no use. It has no use like this. It's only useful when it is stretched. That's the only time that the rubber band is useful. So let's get into this a little bit more and see where it is that Liz is going with this whole rubber band thing. The law of the rubber band, a simple tool to lift morale and inspire your team, the people that are watching you, the people that are around you, the people in your business, whether they're paid employees or whether they're volunteers just helping you. Let them see you stretch yourself. A leader is always stretching. Then we ask ourselves, and I've seen this, why is my church not growing? Why is my business not growing? Why is my team not growing? Why are the profits not growing? Like, why is there no growth? Growth stops when you lose the tension between where you are right here and where you want to be up here. This is where I am. I'm right here, but this is where I want to be. There has to be a stretch. If you're going to be a true leader, and this is one of John Maxwell's fundamental leadership truths, is the law of the rubber band. Growth stops when you lose the tension. Keyword, tension. Yes, I love this. This is a stretch. I'm loving the comments that I'm seeing here. Actually, I'm going to turn the comments on and see if I can see them right here. The tension, and see where that goes. All right, so tension between where you are to where you want to be. So in order to do that, we have to stretch. There is a stretching that happens. So let's talk a little bit more about this law of the rubber band. There's benefits. There are benefits when we stretch. God's gift to us is potential, but our gift to God is developing that potential. Come on now. Let me say that one more time. God's gift to us is potential. He's given us all potential. He gives our kids potential. Yes, he does. Our gift to God is when we develop that potential. So how do we do that? We do that by getting out of our comfort zone, by continually stretching, not only physically, but also mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Okay. And for the guys that are here, we can't just stay right here emotionally and then just stay in a box. We got, okay, emotionally, this is not good. Like men will stay in one little, and we're the ones that are really like loud and boisterous because we're the women. But sometimes God wants the men to stretch emotionally. Sometimes he wants the women to stretch more physically. He wants us all to stretch more spiritually. Life begins. Success begins when we stretch ourselves. So allow the Lord to stretch you. What is it that God is asking from you that scares you, that takes you out of your comfort zone where you're like, this right here is me stretching. I'm stretching because I've never done a masterclass ever. And my next 2 slides, you're going to see more about the masterclass. I've never done a masterclass. And this one in particular, I had to literally put on hold until now for this time and for this season. So I have to give myself that law of the mirror, and I have to look at myself in the mirror. I have to visualize in that self-image and say, Liz, you have what it takes to do this masterclass. And it's going to go great. Few people want to stretch. Ladies and gentlemen, few people want to stretch. So congratulations, you are here. You are stretching, right? The less you know, the less you have to do. Who said that? A man who didn't want a promotion. He was at work and he was telling his co-worker to stop asking questions. Why do you ask so many questions? Stop asking so many questions. And he said, why? And he said, because the less you know, the less you have to do. That man never got a promotion. Same with high schoolers. Listen, It says the third of all high school graduates never read another book again after graduation. They're not stretching. They're not stretching their mind. They're not stretching their knowledge, their intelligence. We have to stretch. There are a lot of people that rather not stretch. They're happy in their comfort zone. They're okay with average. I'm not okay with average. Say no to average. Say, that's a hashtag, no to average. No to average. No to mediocrity. I don't want anything that's mediocre. I want the best that God can possibly give me. So while others choose not to stretch, I am going to stretch. I'm going to do it. I'm going to apply the law of the rubber band. Now, there's more to the law of the rubber band. There is. Yes. Hashtag no to average. There's more to the law of the rubber band. There's stretching starts from inside out, from the inside out. But I'm not going to talk to you about that. That's for the masterclass. There's also stretching sets you apart from all the others. This is why 3 people can have the exact same type of business, but one of those guys are killing it while the other 2 are not. Why? Because there's one that's going to set themselves apart. When you apply the law of the rubber band, you set yourself apart. Do you really think that there are not other people doing stuff like Liz does? Logos, this Kroll Innovations Inc. There's a bunch of people doing websites for people. There's a bunch of people charging for logos. But what sets me apart? There's a bunch of people doing things like Emerge. There's a bunch of people doing those guys, but something's got to set us apart. Something's got to set you apart, Cynthia. Something's got to set you apart, Bernard. Something has got to set you apart. And it's the law of the rubber band. And another little piece, which again is in the masterclass, is stretching requires change. And there are people even in ministry, I've seen it. I've walked into churches that still have the same 40 people that they had 3 or 4 years ago. The same 40 people. Why? Because they haven't allowed themselves to change. They don't want to change the way the church looks. They don't want to change the way they advertise. They don't want to change their promotion strategy. They don't want to change in any way. And they've remained in a box. But that, my friend,